I was at a work retreat VIP day, and you came in as one of the guest speakers. And I was like, oh, she's turned what I've been learning so loosely and all over the place into something bite-sized that people can go home with. And I hadn't gotten there because I was, trying to take myself through this journey, like being the student and the teacher at the same time.
Hello, you gorgeous human beings, and aren't you in for a treat? I have the most magnificent Catherine Farquharson here with us today. She's going to tell you all about her, but Catherine is a powerhouse. Catherine came into becoming certified already established in her business and not new. I would say, Catherine, wasn't even your 17th rodeo in personal growth and all the things you've invested in, like me. And Catherine specializes in both working with female entrepreneurs and women that are entering their second career, which to me feels like the reinvention, right? Like it's time to turn it up. Life is short. Let's go. So without further ado, welcome to the stage.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
I'm so happy. What would you add to what you do and who you serve to what I just shared?
You summed it up perfectly. But what I would add is that if I were to go in a little bit deeper, I work with women who know that there's more to why they're here, more to their life, more to what they want to express, or more impact, or really have questions that start bubbling up around what am I here to do? And are ready to do it. So there's often it's referred to as before Catherine and after Catherine.
Yes. Yeah, I love that. I love that. Huh. So good. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I mentioned that you came into certification and you already had an established business. So where were you in your business, and what made you choose becoming certified, considering how established you already were?
I was celebrating my 10th year of business as a coach. So that's where I was when I came in. So definitely not my first rodeo. I originally had worked with one-on-one clients, and then I moved into group coaching in 2018 or 2017. And then I've been doing it nonstop since then. I've had one rolling program that has different permutations for all of those years. And so they have changed over time. And as I got different certifications, I was always adding, changing, maybe revamping or reinventing what I was doing. And where I started was with NLP and mindset coaching. And then I moved into more like manifestation. I worked under Bob Proctor, really working with the idea of, I ran a program of his called Thinking into Results. So I had great success in those areas. And then on my own personal journey, I started to discover that I have a body.
Silly thing.
Oh my God. And it turns out thinking is not the only part of the process. So that opened up this whole world for me personally into discovering embodiment and my nervous system. And there was a critical point, I think it was 2023, around there, where I started to feel like I'm out of integrity teaching my clients about mindset when I'm personally learning about the power of embodiment and the nervous system. And so I started to trickle it into my work, but I wasn't formally trained. I got a little bit of a breathwork training, but nothing that was substantial. And at that time, I was at a work retreat VIP day, and you came in as one of the guest speakers. And so I saw you teach. You taught one of the things that we do at NIE, and I saw you do it, and I was like, oh, she's turned what I've been learning so loosely and all over the place into something bite-sized that people can go home with. And I hadn't gotten there because I was, trying to take myself through this journey, like being the student and the teacher at the same time, So that was really the beginning. And I started to follow you then. And then fast forward another year. I contemplated signing up for the certification and I couldn't make the dates work. And then I fast forwarded another year and I was like further into that stabilization of that journey myself. I went through your program as a client and then I signed up to be able to have those modules myself.
Mm. So there's so many things I want to ask. So let me start here. Considering all of the beautiful certifications that you've done and the beautiful, Bob Proctor is a pioneer in our industry at large, no doubt, may he rest in peace. What a beautiful man.
Yeah.
What makes becoming certified and the NIE certification different than all the other things you've done?
I mean, I have done a lot. I'm very well certified. Mm-hmm. I think the thing that made it different than any other certification is that the whole program was front-ended with modules over time. I think the whole thing was 3 months, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that.
A little bit longer now, but yes.
Mm-hmm. And then, so we had our weekly calls, we had our support calls. So that would be like the training component. Mm-hmm. And then it ended on the in-person. And what I found that was different about that than anything else I've done before was it took everything that we had learned and then brought it into the practical where we could work with you and ask you all the questions and actually experience what we had learned through you. So a couple of very powerful things as an example is that, as someone who is teaching the work, you obviously have to live the work. And so things are coming up for people in our time together that is the actual work. And then you would take coaching moments for that person that then model exactly what we're learning. So it's like we were learning on different logical levels at the same time. So there's information, then there's the being in it, witnessing it, as well as the practicality of the teaching it and the feedback. So I would say it was different than other certifications because it came at it from so many different directions.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. I often say that when you get certified, we then give you everything, right? We give you everything. We give you the full rights to the program. You get the slide decks, you get the scripts. We do give you done for you workshops, right? So I would love you to speak to this for a minute and I've said this in other conversations because there's no better way to say it. Everyone thinks their baby is the cutest. And I genuinely believe that becoming certified is the best, most complete, most generous certification in our industry. So I'm just curious if you could speak to your experience when you got all of your assets and what happened for you.
So much pushback from me. Because I have been in this industry the same amount of time, essentially, and have done so many certifications, I can't tell you the number of messages that I have sent to your team to be like, are you sure that I can use this? Like, this doesn't feel right that I would have access to this. And even when you gave us this big binder of all of the things, and I was like, so we don't have to pay a licensing fee? Because every other certification asks for that, to the point where I was like, Tracy, are you doing this right? Are you sure? Because generous isn't even a word to cover it. It's like, it's so far beyond generous. It's like, it speaks to your greater vision about what you said that I actually use as a reminder for me to feel like it's okay to even be using this. Is that you were like, I need help. I need more people helping to change the consciousness of the planet. And this is how I'm doing that. And that to me is what your generosity is actually doing, because you don't hold back in any way. I've never seen anything like it in anything that I've seen online. Usually people, like even when I was doing the Bob Proctor stuff, I wasn't allowed to use that material as my own. I had to use videos of Bob, which is fine. Bob taught the lessons and then I would facilitate those lessons. Yeah. So yeah, it's completely unheard of.
Thank you. I received that. And that is my mission, right? We need an army of all of us doing this.
Yeah.
And for me, graduating from original coaching school and then all the other things that I did, I always left with the same feeling, which was, what the fuck do I do now?
Yeah.
Anything I did, I felt more informed. I felt more like confident because I had experienced something, but I didn't feel like I could the next day go serve and deliver, right? So us giving you inside of the foundational license, the ability to use it and call it whatever program you want and serve it and play with it brings me so much joy, because you're coming through certification, and I'm excited for you to speak to this because you're already serving the work.
Yeah.
You literally could be marketing it while you're going through certification, and a week after you're certified, you can be delivering.
That's
right?
what I did.
That's what right. So fucking exciting. And then if you want, and I'm saying this because all the beautiful people that are listening to it also, if you want unlimited license, meaning like you want to do hybrids, you want to do pre-recorded, you want to do passive products, then you get to upgrade, and it's a one-time platinum investment. And then you have the only thing I will never allow is someone else to certify in the work, because for all the reasons why it's important that the school certifies in our certification, but it's extremely exciting. So talk me through that, because I know there are women listening right now that are resonating with you, how established they are, why this and that. But so what has changed now? And I'm going to stack some things because I really just want to give you the floor, but what has changed now that you are certified in Neuro Identity Evolution? And how quickly did you start delivering it? What's going on in your business as a result?
Okay, I'll answer those two questions. And I wanted to add to something that you said, is that my intention has been and still is that I will be doing the platinum. Yes. And I'm sharing for the view of someone else who might like to do the same type of thing. Yeah. I will be running that way. My aim is August. And so the reason that I didn't sign up for platinum right away is because I want to practice my delivery and continue to make my adaptations. So it wouldn't make any sense to do it right away, but in my picturing of it, 100%, I would never not do the platinum. Totally. It's how I look at it.
Yes.
Yeah. Even I was talking to Amanda, we were like, of course I'm doing the platinum. It's part of my business plan.
Yeah.
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 So
what's changed in your business since you got certified?
So I was, like I said, already running a program for a number of years that changed as time was going on. And so what I used your methodology for is one of my favorite things, which is the terminology that you have created to describe things that I was already teaching. So I didn't have the language like an NJO. I didn't have language like GLS so now, and I'm just going to use before and after because I am running it now. So I'll explain what's changed in the business, but my clients are loving it. They love that now we have a lingo that pulls us together as community. So I was teaching before about observing your thoughts, but it was more like a cerebral concept. Now there's a little person on your shoulder, non-judgmental observer, who is like personified, and we talk about her. And so it's taken what I was trying to do on my own loosey-goosey. The concepts are not that different, but the labeling of it has changed the way that people are able to receive what I'm teaching. People are loving it. I'm getting feedback like it feels so fresh. It's so fun. Like I can really feel like you're onto something. This is what I'm getting feedback from my old clients. These are clients that have been with me since 2018, some of them. And they're like, something's changed, Catherine. So it's like, yeah, it's really great. So good. Really, really great. And the other thing that it has really helped with, because it's a certain number of lessons. So I have mine expanded out to 6 months. So I've elongated the program. But what I love being able to do is, because I know where the program is going, I can speak to that to say, oh, in 2 lessons, we're going to touch on that. Where before I didn't have, since I ran the Thinking into Results program, I didn't have a clear arc that I could speak to in that kind of way, which I also find is really helpful for the nervous system of my clients to be able to know, like, oh, that's coming. She's taking care of me. She knows what's what. And everything is talking to everything else, as opposed to being like in isolation, in isolation, in isolation, which is how it was before.
I love that you just said that, because one of the things that I am most proud of is how complete the methodology is, right? Because so many of us and so many of our clients, we're trying to do a little bit of mindset work over here. We're trying to do a little bit of somatic work over here. We're trying to reprogram some belief stuff over here, right? And if we keep it siloed, it doesn't really evolve the individual. It becomes hacks and tools that we try to remember when we finally hemorrhage, and we're smacking all of that well-intended stuff onto an identity that is the same as it was before.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And that was it for me. I was taking a certification over here, certification over here. Like I was like deep into my own studies, and this brought it together in a cohesive way. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just so good. So,
and I also, the other thing that's really great about it is that it doesn't mean that I've thrown out everything else that I've done. So I'm not running your program and all of a sudden trying to be Tracy Lit. And I think this is an important point because what you really do give everything over. What's so beautiful is that I'm collaging and bringing my work and my embodiment practice and my morning routine and my meditations, and like I'm still taking everything that I've done, and now it's just I like the word cohesive. It's like coming together in a way that feels really good, and I know every time I run it, and it's just going to get better and better and better.
Yeah, it's amazing. And it's true, because even now as I'm teaching, live, right, and I'm back doing what all you do, it's just so fun. And I reflect and I'm like, ooh, did I just add something there? Expanding that there. It's just so fun. It's so great. So tell us about what's changed in you. So we've talked about your business. We've talked about how it's different. What's different about you, because you are the work now that you serve?
Well, I'll answer it in two ways. I'll answer one from the form of me and my business, and then me personally. So me and my business, in terms of having done it and now facilitating it, what has changed in me also is a sense of safety and stability in knowing the program arc in its full and completeness. What that means is that I have more clarity and more focus in when I'm creating my lessons. So it's more thorough. So before I would have an idea of what I was going to teach. It would kind of trickle in. I would be taking notes over the few weeks before, and I'd put it together, and then I would, put something fabulous out, which actually was quite stressful in another way, because I didn't necessarily always know what it was going to be and what was going to come through. And now I feel like my actual facilitation has strengthened in the sense that I can say in the beginning, here's what we're going to cover. Here's what's going to happen by the end. Here's what you have for your homework. Here's your workbook. Here's what you're going to have coming up next. And so it actually settles me. And I know now that I'm delivering something phenomenal versus like, I really feel like I'm delivering something phenomenal. It's
and stay very
nuanced difference, but very different.
It's a completely different posture. It's a completely different sense of confidence, and it drives you to show up differently as a leader.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm curious for you to speak to that. How does knowing that what you are delivering is proven, right? Not only by you and your fabulousness, but by the creator of it and every other practitioner, because that's the thing. And that's what blew me away when our first few classes of certification were happening and the practitioners were coming back and sharing the same proven transformational results of their clients. And that's when I knew I was onto something. We're all over here making something out of nothing, right? And I was like, holy shit. So it's not just me and my delivery because it's my work that created that. And it's just such proof. So for you to be sitting here in that sense, how does it change how you show up? And has it changed how you're pricing your services at this point? I'm curious.
Well, let's see. I launched it 2 months ago, 3 months ago. So this version of my program began in February and it is now April. So that's how far along I am. So I would say I'm far enough in now that I have that feedback that I was sharing about how people are doing. If we had talked in February, it still would be a bit of like, I think so.
Right.
Or I feel so. So every month that's passing, I am like stabilizing more in it. And how I show up in what I do is more and more grounded as time goes on. But since I'm someone who is also living the material at the same time, I'm not living in the now moment. I'm living in a year from now moment. And so I am showing up as my she of the woman who has already been running this for a year and is in platinum and running the evergreen. And it's like actually an entirely different program a year from now.
Yes.
So, yes. So it's changed in my certainty.
That's everything.
Yeah.
Because the energy and the frequency of certainty is the greatest thing we can have. So I love that. So you were going to share what shifted personally for you.
Well, that was what I was going to share, was just like the energy of like how I show up in the morning and what I think about, because I'm doing all the things that we teach. Right. So thinking about the energy that I'm bringing to the day from my future self, I am looking at my problems from different vantage points. I am reminding myself of the beliefs that I hold that maybe before were wobbly. I am at peace with the unknown in a way. Like I'm just doing my work. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Peace with the unknown and certainty. Those are pretty significant.
Oh, and those are like probably my biggest wobble points. If I go off in the wrong direction, the first place I go to is the fear of the world events and that train. So it takes a lot of work to keep my focus where I can actually make a difference and not on the pull of the external.
Yeah, totally. What else would you want to share?
One of the things that Bob Proctor used to always say that I think is still the best mantra in situations like this, when you are selling something or you're certified in something, is to be a product of the product. And that is what I would offer forward. It's like the certification is only worth what you make it worth. And it cannot be something that you learn about and talk about, but don't live. So in my opinion, the best approach, I mean, of course you can do it however you do it. And yes. And if I'm speaking to the listener here, like, if anyone takes a certification and like doesn't live it and apply it right away, you're wasting your money, because then it becomes another thing in the certificate. No one cares. Let me say this another way. No one cares about a certification. You can do this work without a certification. Like you were saying, it is an unregulated industry. You're free to go and do your thing.
Yeah.
So this certification means what you make it mean. And so it is everything if you want it to be everything. Like there's nothing more. Like you don't need anything more than this, because it's so full and complete in and of itself. And take it, live it, and go and teach it. So the best thing I did was already know when I was in it, when I was launching. When we were together in October, I already knew I was going to be selling it in January, starting it in February. That was already in my plan, and that's what I did. And I practiced it and finessed it and really made it my own energy so that I was congruent in my delivery of it.
Yes.
And so for me, this certification is worth millions of dollars. I mean, my whole future, as far as I know right now, is through what you gave me. So it's not a certification, it's a blueprint for your future, if you allow it to be. Yeah.
Feels, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Two things I want to reflect back. Well, one, and you knew in October when we were together face to face at Immersion, right? This is what I was doing. And how many beautiful souls are in your group that you're running right now? The one that you sold in January and started in February.
Let me just tell you. So I have people who are, I had to do two things. One is that I had a program already running.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to enroll them in the idea that the program that they were in is ending and something better is coming. So I had those beautiful souls who,
Yes.
like, I love them so much because they're like, whatever you do is going to be amazing, Catherine. And they're all in. They love it. They're like, it's just got so much better. So now I have those clients
Yeah.
re-enrolling to continue in what we're doing. And then in the fresh, like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting with you in the beginning. I have how many people here? I had 17 brand new people coming through there. And then, yeah, so 17 brand new people that were coming from the beginning, February, like I'm starting this program.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. It's amazing.
And so I think in total, there's about 30 people going through the program right now.
Incredible. It's incredible.
Yeah.
And I never knew that Bob said that.
Mhm.
And the way that I've always said it is, you must be your own billboard,
Mm.
right? And that's what embodiment really is. And I love how you shared that because it's also true. If you do this certification like a checklist and you don't live it, it's not going to give back to you everything that it can. It'll still work as you teach it, but the way that you hold your clients is completely different, and how successful you can become is completely different when you live the work that you teach. And if anyone's looking for the lever of exponential success, finally walk the walk on what you've been saying, and shit will shift so fast, your head will fall off your body, you know?
Yeah. And I think that that's one of the things that you do so well is that you so clearly love your work and you own that you are so embodied. So it's like, it's like a transference that happens. Like you love it, you know it, you live it, you pass it on. So I know it, live it, love it, and I pass it on. If it was just a concept of an idea, let's say it was like a book that I read or, you know, a how to or whatever, and I didn't live it and love it, then my clients would hear the ideas, but they wouldn't get the transference. So you at the front of that, like the cause and the effect, you're the first cause. So all the effect gets passed on to anyone who takes a certification, and it's addictive. Like it's like, oh, I want to feel like Tracy feels. Like, yeah, of course I'm a yes.
Yes, well, and it's like you said, I mean, thank you. I feel very seen because I am this person all the time wherever I am. I am fully embodied. This morning, David and I were walking to the gym and he was expressing something. And I was like, are you available for me to be your coach right now? Because you always get permission. If you have a spouse, don't just thrust your shit on them. And I was able to connect the dots for him, you know, which is something we talk about, on how what his mind started to offer him wasn't about the subject matter. It was that his system had spent the last few weeks in such ease and chillness and like love and trust. And his system was only going to tolerate that for so long before the mind fuckery started, and and his old identity found something to hook him into so that he could worry. Right. And it's just like, yeah, this is the best work. It's how I've become who I am. It's how you're becoming who you are. All of our clients, it is like an honor to be able to do the work, create the work, and give you the work because it's our work now. Right. Which is the point when you want to make a dent in this world before you die, we got to do it together. We got to do it.
It's also, I'll just add, like really fun. The certification is so fun. just made me think about that. Like, I was genuinely sad when the week was over because I was like, oh, I want this to be longer. Want more of this.
Yes.
And I think that's actually such a good point that it's so important to really enjoy your work. So for someone like me so I had this business for so long in the Bob Proctor world, I had community, and we would meet with Bob, I think it was 4 or 3 times a year. So it was major because we were all doing the same thing together. And then we would mastermind and we'd be like, oh, you did it like that. And there's something about sharing in the same concepts with your peers and showing each other what's possible. And then when I left that organization, I had nobody. And when I was in your certification, it was the first time that I got a taste of that feeling again, where I was like, oh my God, like community of people who are talking about the same type of thing and bringing it into the world with the same type of thing. I love it. And you made it so enjoyable, so much fun. And it was, oh, I want to do it again.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I feel so grateful. And, if I'm not having fun, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
So therefore, everything, like even, in our organization, when we do our missions values, like levity and fun is the third one listed. The first one is highest service of the client. The second one is continuous improvement, right? In systems and in the fact that we deliver transformation. So what science learns all the time changes year over year over year, and levity and playfulness, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I have laughed so much in
Right?
I don't know how long. That was something that was not happening in all of my certifications. I can tell you that.
Right. But imagine this world that we're building where we're prioritizing silliness and laughter and fun. And people are like, what are they having? Or we're just enjoying our lives,
Yeah.
Just like the not so serious approach to your frequency. So just love it. So good. Thank you so much for this rich conversation. I can imagine how many beautiful established leaders have listened and resonated. And everyone, all the contact information for Catherine, her work will be around this video in the show notes, wherever we share all the places to this. And I cannot wait to see all of you that feel aligned and feel a pull in certification. Applications are open. Apply and come join us.
Can I say one more thing?
I would love you to say whatever you want.
As an end note for you there to these people you're speaking to. Remember I said I almost signed up in 2024 and then I paused and I did it the other year. I will tell you, if I had just signed up in 2024, I would already be in my year from now vision now. So there's no question about that but just do it this year. That's all. Just do it this year. So just do it now. That's what I want to say.
Just do it now. Exactly.
Just do it now.
We'll all be having fun together because then we continue in the alumni group after, and then we'll all be hanging out. And it'll be amazing. So good. Thank you so much. Until next time, beautiful souls. Remember, there is always more love.